You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at natebargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Let's go, Grizz! Let's go!
Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish.
Defense, take them ball! Defense, take them ball!
Jared with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Bob, Brendan Clark.
Ooh, on that rim!
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
What's up, y'all? Welcome into the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. I'm not Gary Parrish. I'm Lane Whitaker. It's Thursday. We're coming off last night's Grizzlies preseason game number 2 against the Boston Celtics. Went about as bad as game number 1 went, if you're a Grizzlies fan. So Bennett, Doyle, and I are here. We're going to catch up on that Grizzlies game last night, talk over some of the players we've seen, some of the players we haven't seen so far. And also get into this ESPN. We literally just dropped their Western Conference predictions. Got the Grizzlies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now don't give it away.
All right, yeah.
Save it.
Grizzlies are in the mix. We'll talk about the Grizzlies for the first block. Michael Wallace will join us for the second block. He was also at the game last night. He stuck me with doing radio last night and had a lot of talk about high school careers, all sorts of. It's like one of those
it got weird on radio last night.
Fill time.
Yeah, it got weird on radio last night.
So we talked about that. Michael will join us in a little bit. For the 5 things today, we got lots of NBA stuff going on right now with preseason, but the biggest thing is this Giannis story that won't really go away. He seems like he likes being in Milwaukee, but we're still talking about it.
For now.
Talk about the baseball playoffs. Some big games last night. Big games tonight. Tomorrow night we get Tigers Mariners game 5, which is also a big one. So we'll go through baseball, talk about that. Cool story in The Athletic yesterday about the Memphis Tigers coaching tree. We'll go through that. What else we got, Bennett? Is that about it?
Yeah. Well, I got some movie stuff too that I want to talk about. I heard JB mention a few things that I want to get to on the show. And we'll talk about the Bill Belichick saga too. We got some more stuff yesterday, so we'll get to that as well.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it did, like you said, it did get weird on radio last night.
I see. So hold on. I knew it was going to be a weird night.
When you saw the starting lineup?
No, before that. I walked in the door. I saw Kyra. Shout out Kyra. I said, hey, what's going on? Walk in. Went down to eat dinner. This is like 4:30 because we eat dinner like really early before the game. Go down to eat dinner. Got some food on my plate. Sit down. And I was like, that's weird. And my tooth fell out. It was a crown that had been like for about a week or two, like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 2. It was just sort of bothering me. And I was like, you know what? I got to go to the dentist and whatever. I'm just kind of avoiding eating on that. You know how you do. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me just be good. And then I was like, well. And my tooth came out, my crown, with part of the tooth attached, apparently. I found out today. I already went to the dentist this morning.
And this is before you're about to do a radio broadcast.
Yeah, before I had to go. I was like, well, this is a great time to have to talk for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
So I got the bleeding to stop, and eventually I managed to eat some salmon on one side of my mouth and some steamed squash,
Good.
which is,
Oh, yeah, the food was good last night.
So anyway, I was like, oh, that's like an omen for this game tonight. It was like something out of a horror movie, you know, like, and then we get to watch this game and you're like, well, maybe they'll bounce back. Maybe the Grizzlies will look a little better than they did game one, but no, it was pretty much the same result, but there were different players involved last night.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen in the NBA, man. You know that. But, you know, when I saw that they were rolling out Jaylen Brown and Derek White and company last night, and our starting lineup was, other than Santi, Santi and Jaylen both started, but other than that, mostly guys that might not see a lot of minutes this season.
The bottom of the box score had the DNP CD, did not play coach's decision. These are the guys who didn't play.
Okay.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Jaren Jackson, Ty Jerome, John Morant, Scottie Pippen Jr., Jock Landale, Zach Edey, Brandon Clark. We knew some of those guys were going to be out. We knew Ja was out, Jaren was out, Zach Edey was out. But then, like, when I saw all the players come out on the court, and before the game, someone asked Thomas Isolo about it, and he said, well, there's going to be different lineups tonight. So when Taylor Jenkins was the coach, you would always ask him in the pregame, hey, you know, can you tell us about the availability for tonight? Mm-hmm. And he would kind of go over the injury report. Mm-hmm. But no one ever said who's injured and who's not. It was just always asked in that way.
Yeah.
So someone asked Coach Isalo that last night, and they were like, hey, so what's it look like tonight with availability? And he was like, different guys are going to play tonight. And I thought, he just doesn't understand the question. Like, he doesn't. It's like this coded question, but he's just being like literal with it. Mm-hmm. But he understood it. He was being literal. Like, there's different guys playing tonight. Because I saw the starting lineup right before tip-off, and Javon Small was starting at point guard, who didn't even play in game one. He was out with a personal matter. So he was in the starting lineup. Lawson Lovering was in the starting lineup. Cedric Coward was in the starting lineup. So you're like, all right, well, we're doing something different here. And then you see the team come out on the court. Ty Jerome's in a sweatsuit, not a Grizzly sweatsuit. Jock Landale's in a sweatsuit, not a Grizzly sweatsuit. Like, all these guys are in casual clothes. Scottie Pippen, guys who played in game one who were not dressed out for last night.
No, they almost didn't have enough room on the seating
one of the coaches, Eric Schmidt, had to move back a row, because there weren't enough seats for everybody. Jaren had to sit on the back row. Mm-hmm. Like, there weren't enough seats down there for everybody. So the Grizzlies ran out a totally different lineup. The Celtics had two All-Stars. Jaylen Brown, and then
that was his
Derek
first
White's
game.
Not an All-Star, but he was a gold medalist.
Shit, he might be this year.
If he plays like that,
they're going to need
that
him.
team. That's a weird team this year without Jason Tatum. But they looked great last night. Jaylen Brown can just get anywhere he wants to on the court against these young Grizzly players they had out there. Get any shot he wanted. And the Grizzlies just looked so disjointed. Couldn't make a shot.
No, the first half was just, horrible. There was nothing to take from that.
They had 4 threes in the first half.
Yeah.
They were struggling.
They missed everything.
And then it didn't help that the Celtics also played Jaylen Brown 12 minutes. He played the entire first quarter. Mm. Derek White played a lot. Jaylen Brown got in again at the end of the half and started a fight with Jalen Wells.
I think that was the most...
not Jalen Wells. Vince Williams.
I think that was the most exciting part of the game.
Oh, for sure.
The scuffle between... First off, it was. I don't know why he got so mad. It didn't look like.
It looked like
Vince,
he was driving to the basket and Vince grabbed his arm, and but he didn't knock him down or anything. Yeah, he just fouled him. You know what I appreciated the most was as they kind of got into it. First dude to jump in there, Cam Spencer.
Very good.
Yeah, Cam Spencer was right in there.
Enforcer. That's what I like to call him. Other than that, it was, obviously Cedric Coward played a lot.
Yes.
And he was better in the second half, but it's still and I just think, I said this after game one, and Eric, you and Eric talked about it on the broadcast last night. It's just going to take patience, man.
Yeah.
Like, the dude hasn't played basketball in so long, or at least, like, super high-level basketball in so long.
The thing with Coward was, like, he was getting to the right place on the court. He was always just, like, a split second late, probably.
Mm-hmm.
His shots, he was having trouble getting his jumpers to go. But athletically, like, that dude can cover the whole court in, like, 5 steps. Like, he's athletically, he's through the roof. He looks awesome. Skill-wise, like, you can see he hasn't played in a year. And, like, at this point, it's just like, let's get this dude as many minutes as we can because he's got to ramp back up on just the competitiveness and I think just, like, the fine, edges of his game because you see the athleticism, you see all that other stuff. Like, the one dunk he had last night, you're like, whoa, like he came down the lane and Lovering hit him with a bounce pass and he tomahawked it with 2 hands. You get those flashes of that, and you're like, oh, okay, this dude can do it. But then you see the way he was playing last night, having trouble making the shots. He missed some like easier like floaters, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I saw some people on Twitter after game 1 saying, well, we can't compare this guy to let's don't compare him to Kobe. Let's don't compare him to other people. And I was like, well, Kobe sucked his rookie year. Kobe was not good his first year in the NBA.
That's a good point.
And you got to give Cedric Howard a little bit of runway here. A, he hasn't played in a long time. B, he's adjusting to the NBA. So I thought last night was a good step. And just giving him minutes and getting him out there on the court and letting him just shake off some of that rust.
Yep, for sure. There was and I think we're gonna play
Let's
a little.
do through it, yeah.
We're gonna play a little game here. Basically, we're gonna go through, I guess, the guys that we know are gonna play.
Rotation guys.
Yeah, rotation guys.
Yeah. Probable rotation guys.
There's maybe a few at the end that might not, but probable rotation guys. And we're just going to kind of gauge after 2 preseason games how we're feeling about them. Are we hot? Are we cold? Are we lukewarm? And so let's just go ahead and start that. But I wanted to say, before we start doing that, I wanted to say there was a good tweet from DeMichael last night.
Yeah.
Basically, say here, I want to pull it up because I want to make sure I say.
Shout out to Michael Cole from the Commercial Appeal.
He said this is primarily a roster built around Ja and Jaren. Without those two on the floor, other guys will be asked to play expanded roles, and it's fair to question if there are guys on the roster capable of that right now.
Yeah.
Which is why we wanted to do this, because we're looking at this all through a prism of assuming Ja, Jaren going to be on the court playing with these guys, right?
Yeah.
And how do they fit?
I mean, look. Yeah. If the Grizzlies go into the season and Javon Small is your starting point guard, Lawson Lovering's your starting center, and Cedric Howard your starting small forward,
you can.
I would imagine most of the games are going to go like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of like these are just the guys that we've seen play so far. So we're not obviously not including Ja, Jaren, or Zach Edey in this conversation. So we're going to start with a guy that we both think is going to have a big season, in Santi Aldama, who we've seen in both of these preseason games. Started last night. He started slow. Was better in the second half. I'm super high. I feel great about Santi this year. I think he's going to have a big year. I thought last year, early in the season, he was kind of like maybe messing around with some potential 6th man of the year conversation. Yeah. And then the season just went off the rails and that kind of went out the window. But I think he's going to be a big piece for this team this year.
Last season, he was coming off playing in the Olympics, right, for Spain. And then this season, he's coming off playing in Eurobasket for Spain. I just think the more we see him out there, the more comfortable he gets with what he's being asked to do and his role. There was a play last night where Santi got a rebound, dribbled it the length of the court, did a spin move in the paint, pump faked, and then I think shot a finger roll or something like that. But it was like, we're so used to it at this point, but you're like, dude, this guy's like 6'10", getting boards, dribbling the ball up the court, making moves, getting his shot off, creating like – he can do all that stuff. I think the trick with Santi is you don't want to ask him to do all that all the time. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of when he gets out over his skis a little bit, is when he's being asked to do too much all the time. As a 6th man, I think that's a awesome role for him. And
that might not happen just because he's probably gonna
have to start.
He's gonna have to start at least in the beginning. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jaren Santi lineups a lot until Zach gets back. So that 6-man discussion may just be out the window because he's probably going to be in that starting lineup a lot
also,
early.
Like, and I think this goes for Jaren also, but like one thing we've seen in these first 2 games in Tuomas Isalo's offense is the bigs, specifically whoever the center is out there on the court, is making a lot of decisions. And they kind of use him as a high post, give him the ball, guys cut off of him, whatever. I mean, I was thinking, you saw Lovering make that pass to a cutting Cedric Coward last night. If you put Santi or Jaron in that role, like that was one thing Jaron last season talked to me about, was trying to improve his playmaking and reads and being able to hit open guys. And Santi loves throwing behind the back passes and all that crap. Like the two of those guys in that position instead of Lawson Lovering or PJ Hall, like that gives me a lot more good vibes about this season. And that's something we haven't really seen so far.
Jalen Wells.
I thought he was great last night.
He was
probably the best
night.
guy on the Grizzlies last night.
Without question.
Shot 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 6 of 7 on free throws. Played really good defense like he always does. I was actually looking through my phone yesterday. I found a note I wrote toward the end of last season. I was taking notes at a Grizzlies game, as one does. And I had written down, when is Jalen going to start getting some calls? Because remember last year, like he just got beat up every single game.
He got hammered last year.
Going through screens, never got a call. And he was always, politely talking to the referees, trying to be like, what did I do wrong? How do I get that fixed? I thought last night he was like moving. You could tell the improvement he's made. Like there's levels to it in the NBA. He was still as good as he was last year, but he was better. And you could tell like that confidence and the way he played last night was awesome.
Yep. All right, KCP. We saw him in the first game. Didn't play last night.
I thought he was good. I thought he was great.
Yeah, I mean,
what'd you think?
He's going to fit in perfectly.
The one thing I would say is game one, like we saw him.
He fits in well everywhere he plays.
He was shooting
obviously
the ball
Orlando
better.
happened, but
it's only one game. But he was shooting the ball pretty well in that game one, and I saw what he make like 2 or 3 threes in that game. That was like kind of the knock on him in Orlando, was his shot wasn't as good as it was in Denver. Maybe that's because he didn't have a Jokic next to him. Maybe it's because he didn't have a Jaren next to him.
Right.
Like a big guy who can like suck away some of that defense. So I think KCP is gonna be great.
Ty Jerome,
awesome. What do you think from game one, Ty Jerome?
I'm fired up.
Yeah.
I just like having a guy like that that's like he's like you talked about like Cam Spencer last night, kind of getting in the mix.
Got a little dog in him.
Yeah, but Ty Jerome's got that, and he's going to play a lot. So that's I'm excited about him, man.
He pulled up in that game.
We need guys like, because you did lose a little bit of that with Dez.
Dog.
He gets into he gets in the mix. He was always in the mix of everything.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we have a guy that I think is going to be in the mix when stuff goes down.
I think KCP's in there too.
I probably so too. Yeah,
he's in that. He's a literal dog because he went to University of Georgia. Shout out.
I like that Ty talks trash. Like
He in that game one, there was a play where he had made a shot or something. He came down on this one play and pulled from about 28 feet. Do you remember that? It was on the left wing, drained that jump shot, and I was like, all right, like he's taking heat checks. Like I like his swag, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I do too. Scotty, we didn't see him last night.
We didn't see him last night. What we saw in game one wasn't great. But I kept going back to him against the Thunder last year in the playoffs and how good he was. And I was like, you know what? Like he'll be fine. Like I just think that first game, he didn't really seem to like kind of have his rhythm or have his place out there.
Yeah, and I think too, we're going to see a big step defensively for him this year.
Yeah.
Like he had, we know he can get steals.
Yeah.
I think you'll see that ramped up quite a bit this season.
That's kind of been in these first 2 games. It's kind of been hit or miss, but especially when game one started, like the Grizzlies, all 5 guys were picking up full court and just harassing their guys. And they got out to that big lead against Detroit, right? And looked great. As the game went along, you saw that start to flag a little bit I think that's A, conditioning, and B, just the other team makes a run and you're like, oh no, what do we do? I think Scottie Pippen is like perfect for that style defense. Like he loves picking up full court anyway. Last night the Grizzlies played some 2-3 zone in the second half a little bit. And I don't know if that's just because they were down 20 something or they were missing half the team, but maybe that's something we'll see them go to. Because last year, like I don't remember the Grizzlies doing that.
Right.
And there was other teams we would play during the season. A lot of teams we would play during the season who would go zone against us, just as a change of pace, just as something different to do. So I wonder if that's something we'll see from the Grizzlies more this year, is them being willing a little bit to go more zone and just change it up.
Yep. Let's go with Jock Landale.
I would say that first game, he was fine. I mean, what are we expecting from him?
rebounding.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like that's
you know what? Like he was a little
rebounding, screen setting. But I was surprised by the jumper. Like I didn't really know he had that in his bag.
He had 2 threes.
Yeah.
He was a little less physical than I thought. Like not having seen him play all that much. I've only seen him play basically when we've played against him. But like maybe it's because he's like Australian. You think, oh, here comes another Steven Adams.
Rugged, yeah.
Here comes some bruiser. Calls people mate, and he's gonna walk around barefoot and eat raw meat and all that stuff. But no, he was fine. He was fine. And I think
he's Australian.
Yeah.
Steve of New Zealand.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
South Pacific.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cedric Howard. We talked about him a little bit already.
Yeah. I thought he was good. He's rusty.
Yeah. It's gonna. I think you just gotta preach.
The
patience.
tools are awesome.
For sure, dude.
Yeah, when you see him out there, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you just got to be patient.
Yeah.
Like Eric was kind of hammering that last night. It's going to take time to knock the rust off. It just is. And Tomas even said that in his post game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's going to take time. All right, let's get to some of these other guys. Vince, we talked about a little bit.
Vince looked pretty good offensively in game 1.
Not so much last night.
And then last night he was 0 for 7 from the floor and got into it with Jaylen Brown. I mean, it's sort of like that trick or treat Vince that we saw some last year too.
Yeah.
You know, like 2 years ago he was so good when everybody got hurt and he kind of stepped up and had that run where he was like, oh my gosh, like what do we got here?
Mm-hmm.
And then last year it was kind of hit or miss more. And so far through 2 games it's been a little hit or miss for Vince.
Yeah, I thought last night too. Like there was a couple times when they, got up the court and were about to get into their stuff, and he gets the first pass and he just immediately jacks a 3, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like I don't really know if that's gonna work for. He's gonna have the open 3. We know that.
Yeah. But he knocked him down in the first game.
He did in the first game. That's true. He's gonna get that shot. So I think that's how he's gonna be able to stay. To play big minutes is if he can hit that shot.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's gonna be there for him.
Yeah, for sure. And defense.
Yeah, and defense, obviously. Jitty.
You know what's funny is I
the constant, the savvy vet.
Well, I mentioned this on the radio last night too. Like, so we know rebounding's an issue for this team right now.
Yes.
Right? Without Zach Edey and Jaren in there.
That's why he's gonna play.
I mean, Jitty's what, 6'5"? But somehow when he's out there, man, that dude, he's like a magnet for rebounds.
Yeah, Tomas said after game 1. I mean, he. By the way, I love his post-game pressers.
Tomas?
Yes. Yeah. It's just, it's refreshing. Yeah. It just is. Like, he's very honest. And he just kind of tells it like it is. So, basically, he said after game 1, without Jaren and Zach, we're missing so much rim protection and rebounding. And it's just going to have to be a team effort. That's why Jitty's going to play heavy minutes, because he's a good rebounding guard. Yeah.
This first 2-3 weeks, you're going to see Tomas try different lineups. And if you can get rebounds and play defense, you're going to get minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, let's knock through these so we can get to Mike. Let's go with Gigi.
Well, what I just said. If you can get rebounds and play defense, you're going to get minutes.
Yeah, I think, again, it's preseason, and you don't want to put too much into anything. It hasn't been a great preseason so far. You just got to call it like it is.
I talked to him on media day for a while, and his whole thing, he said going into this year, was control what I can control.
Yeah.
And like, I think as long as, if he can give you the effort defensively, he'll get minutes.
I want to see him on the court with Ja.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like
also like going downhill, because in summer league that's where he was so good, when he would get the ball and go to the rim. And he had a play last night where he drove to the basket and got a dunk, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. As long as he keeps playing downhill, but yes, he fits into that category of the guys who are being asked to do things they probably aren't as well suited to do right now without everybody else.
Yep, Cam Spencer,
fine, good.
Yep, and then Javon Small, who started last night. We got to mention him. Yeah. It was. I mean, dude, for that to be the first game you play in and you get the Derek White assignment, come on. That's just, as soon as I saw that Derek White's picking him up, I'm like, okay, that's tough.
Tomas said before the game that the thing about Javon Small that he's kind of observed over the summer and pre-draft workouts and all that, he mentioned that his ability to kind of be a two-way guard. And I think the thought is, offensively, defensively, he'll play full court. He'll play the way that I think Tomas wants his guards to play. Offensively, like maybe you can put him alongside of Ja. Yeah. It's a small backcourt, but you have a good defender in there in small. But he mentioned Scotty specifically and Javon Small as guys who are kind of two-way guards who can play the one or the two. Ty Jerome is in that conversation too. But there's a couple of guys who can kind of go either way and gives you more flexibility, I think, on your team. But yeah, for your first game to be that, welcome to the NBA, buddy.
No kidding. Last one, Omax.
I don't know about him.
Intriguing. Because this team this isn't the most athletic team.
You know what? He's like
right?
he's like an older Cedric Coward.
Yeah, this isn't the most athletic team, right? And he's
a wild
very
athlete.
athletic.
Yeah, he's like a live wire.
I think he's intriguing. I think that's kind of we'll see.
But with Cedric Coward, you say, wow, this guy's really athletic, but he needs to kind of sharpen up some things. You're like, well, he hasn't played in a year, right?
Right.
Omax has been in the NBA the last 2 years, and you're like, all right, at some point, it's got to click for him. My thought with him is when you go back to the NBA Finals, you look at the Thunder had 18, and the Pacers have 18 wing guys who can shoot threes and are really athletic and play defense. And I think that's what NBA teams are trying to find now, all these 3-and-D guys. And Omax is an intriguing guy in that role if he can kind of find his way.
All right, and before we go, anybody else, any others that you want to mention before we get to Mike?
I thought no. PJ Hall is interesting.
Oh yeah, he got into it a little bit last
He's
night.
played a lot the first game and last. He was the first off the bench each game. He's a little undersized for once you get in the NBA. Luke Garza was lighting him up last night. Luka Garza, but he's gotten some minutes. He had 6 rebounds last night.
Yeah, that's something we need. Interesting.
Anybody else for you?
No. Let's get to Mike.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to come right back. Michael Wallace from Grind City Media is going to join us. You're watching the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media.
Jaron Jackson has a message for y'all. Jaron, say it now.
What?
It's the best show in the world.
Yeah, Trip. When I showed up at the event last night, he goes, "You got the biggest show in the world." And I said, "No, I really don't." And he goes, "To me, you do. I see you every day." I asked him why he doesn't just walk up here, and he's like, "Because I don't want you to be able to prepare." I'm like,
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's go, Grizz, let's go!
Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish.
Defense, take them ball! Defense, take them ball!
Jaron with a rejection.
Give me that!
Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen. Lob, Brandon Clark.
On that rim!
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lane Whitaker sitting in for GP today. He's off at Media Day for something, some college basketball stuff. I don't know, it's starting soon. Ben and Doyle and I are sitting in, and we're joined, as Gary normally is, by Michael Wallace from Grind City Media. Mike's joining us live from the loft. How are you, Mike?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing, man?
We're good. We're kind of processing last night's Grizzlies game. You and I have been around for a long time. We're old. We've seen a lot of NBA. Feels like the preseason might mean less than it ever has for a lot of these teams. Do you think that's a fair statement?
I think it's all about perspective, right? I think as long as, you're a team where you're trying to say, all right, we're taking the next step from a good team, a playoff team to title contention, you take the Detroit Pistons perspective. You say, all right, get our guys in here as soon as possible and set a tone from the very beginning about continuity. If you're a team like the Memphis Grizzlies who are trying to, emerge from this cloud of injuries and doubt and those kind of things when it comes to whether you're going to get to 100%, you could say, all right, I'm not gonna buy into these things that I'm seeing so far. I just think it's about perspective. I do think the preseason is very important, for the Grizzlies and for but specifically for the Grizzlies. And, so far we haven't seen, we've seen just as much to be encouraged about as we've seen to be sort of concerned about.
Yeah.
And I want some regularity in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Who are you encouraged by last night? Ben and I kind of went through the performances we saw. I think for both of us, the guy who really kind of jumped out off the page last night was Jalen Wells. Anybody you saw last night that gave you some good feelings?
I thought Jalen, did what Jalen does. I think the more I see Jalen, the more I know that he is as solid as he is, right? You're not going to get 30 points from him, right? But you're also not going to get a stinker from him. He's going to be consistent, and you can rely on that. And so you could check him off as a guy, all right, we know night in and night out what Jalen Wells is going to be. I thought Cedric Coward got better as that game went on, and in the fourth quarter, he showed some basketball instincts, including that play in the out of bounds play where he threw it off the guy's back, and then but again, by that time in the game, you're playing against some guys that won't even be playing in the NBA.
It was like as the opponents got worse. As the opponents got worse, he got better.
Yeah, what he does next is going to be the key. Like, can we see that third step that he takes, against the Hawks or whenever he plays the next game?
Are we worried about any performances, or is it just like, like this is early, like Gigi, Vince last night, neither of them were, stand out incredibly great. They were fine. Yeah. Is it too early to jump to judgments?
Man, I need to be honest, man. Like this year 10 for me at Grind City Media and with the Grizzlies, man. And if I can't be completely honest, then I'm doing myself and the people who follow us a disservice. Yes, there is some concern there, right? Like, I want to see Santi take advantage of this lineup and these opportunities and be a dominant player. And if you can't do that right now, then that tells me, all right, maybe I need to reassess what your ceiling for me is. Yeah. Gigi, hey, listen, you're 20. We get it. We're going to always give Gigi the excuse of being the youngest guy on this roster until that excuse runs dry. At a certain point, it's got to click in. And that trust, we're still talking about trust that he needs to build with the coaching staff. And now it's two different coaching staffs now. So, at a certain point, man, we're up against the clock. Either you're going to show that you need to be a top 8, 9 rotation guy, or it's time to move forward. You know what I mean? Vince Williams, those guys too. So, there's a point where you don't want to be too harsh on guys, but I'm at the rubber meets the road situation. Yeah. And, we'll see. It's only 2 games into the preseason, but is this anything different than what we've seen before? And unfortunately, this is sort of par for the course for what we've seen so far.
We were talking about, some of those guys from game 1 that we saw didn't play last night. They were in street clothes. The two of the newer guys, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Ty Jerome, both played pretty good minutes in that first game. What do you see from those guys, and how do you think their inclusion to this group is going to impact the team?
I think Ty Jerome impressed me more than I expected. And this is a guy that was a finalist for 6th Man of the Year last year, 64-win Cavaliers team. So that he knows how to play with stars. He knows how to take over when he needs to take over. We saw that when he played against the Grizzlies last year. So I was encouraged by the fact that he took such command of his role as a starting point guard and primary facilitator. So I know now that when Ja is off the ball or not in games, you got a guy that can definitely keep things moving. And so that was very encouraging. Kenny Caldwell-Pope showed me that, okay, maybe last year in Orlando, you got to give him a discount. Two things that he's going to bring are durability. He plays 70-plus games every year, and defense. So he's going to be competitive defensively. If the shot falls 2 or 3 times from three-point range per game, that is absolute gravy right there. So I was encouraged by that. And some limited elements of Jock Landale, his ability to step into a three confidently and set screens for Ty Jerome. I thought that was impressive.
Yeah, I would say Landale, I would give it incomplete. I felt like we didn't really see enough of him in that game. And he was kind of, looked like he was still kind of figure out his role and all that. I thought KCP. Go ahead.
I thought for Landale though, like I'm not judging him for when he was on the floor with secondary or third guys, right? Like what he's going to be asked to do from day one of the season is to set screens for Ja Morant.
Yeah,
and the fact that he was able to help get Ty Jerome open in that first quarter, that was enough for me. Plus the 2 threes. Now, when you talk about putting him on the floor with guys that he's probably not going to see the floor with, it's probably a little bit different for him.
I thought in Landale and KCP, I think this goes for both of them. Just having the chance to talk to those guys at media day and so far through camp and stuff, they're both like really self-aware. They understand their job. They understand like what they're here to do and why they were brought into this team. And KCP, like to me, like you mentioned, the way he played in game one, and he got a couple shots. If he makes something great, the durability. Like, I just like that he kind of has that veteran, like it's crazy to say this because he's not that old, but he's sort of the unk now.
He is.
And he's cool with it. He's like, you know what? Like, I'm here. I'm going to bring the veteran leadership. I'll see you guys around town. I like Memphis. Like, he's cool with being that kind of veteran leader guy on this team and kind of filling that void. I think that wasn't there. And I'm kind of excited to see him start to play every single night. Last night's game was just tough to look at and say, like, oh, this is the team we're judging, because this is not the team we're going to be judging this year.
Yeah. And at one point, you were on the radio call and you looked over at me, and it was like, and we both had to laugh at it because, again, it's concerning, man, that, I understand the philosophy, and to Bennett's point when he made in the previous segment there, when he talked before we went to break about listening to Omas Isolo in his post games and his pre games, so thoughtful, articulate. He tells you exactly what's on his mind, and he does it in a way that doesn't come across as demonstrative or trying to embarrass anyone or whatever. But what I fear is that there's going to be a disconnect to the philosophical things that he's saying and the reality of what's playing out there on the court, right? Like, you can't tell me that, things are going well for the Memphis Grizzlies when the 2 things that you have been most concerned about are injury histories and depth questions.
Yeah.
And I haven't found an answer yet for, are we healthy? And I haven't found an answer yet for, are these guys that are going to be relied upon for depth, are they going to be good enough? So you can have all these philosophical reasons and explanations, but until we see the product on the court, which is all we can go by, you know what I mean? It's still a lot to be desired right now, and you have a short time to get it right. It's only 2 weeks before the, season opener comes around on October 22nd.
I also wonder how much of that is Coach Isolo's, he's got a new system. Things are different. He's preaching in a different way it's a different voice than this team's heard for the last, whatever it was, 6 years with Taylor Jenkins. So there's a learning curve there, and there's stuff to get figured out and stuff to get understood. I think back to on media day when we spoke to him, and he said, like, I said, is it better to play fast and make wrong decisions or make the right decisions? And he was like, I'd rather him play fast and make the wrong decisions. And we're seeing some wrong decisions, I think, through these first couple of games. But I try to look at these games and be like, you know what, like this is not what we're going to be watching this season. Hopefully this what we're seeing right now is the behind the scenes stuff that you don't normally want to watch as a team builds a infrastructure and kind of figures out what it's going to be and how it's going to work. It's sort of like growing pains, except we're seeing it in person live and it is what it is. But it's a good reminder this Grizzlies team has some growth to do and some growing up to do, I think. And there's still building blocks building blocks being put in place. Bennett had earlier this morning, ESPN released their previews for the Western Conference win projections, and we were kind of surprised because, I mean, if you think this Grizzlies team is still building, they think a little higher, I think, Bennett.
They've got them in their projected Western Conference standings and win totals. They've got them at 45 wins, which is good enough for 7th in the West by their projections.
What's your take on that? What do you think, Mike?
I think that's about right. I really do. Like I had a more like, you know, when we on Grizby, you know, we did a predictions, and I have the Grizzlies at 43-39. Right. Okay. So that's where I have them. And that's with, you know, Ja and Jaren playing, you know, around 65 games. Yeah. And, you know, you're understanding that the West is much more difficult. I think that this team, by the time they get to the playoffs, they might be a little more solid than they were going into the playoffs last year. But I think it's just going to take some battle scars initially. And, you know, they're going to really have to fight to make it up into the West, because right now, when you lay it out in the West, I mean, you can easily count 5-6 teams that are going to finish ahead of the Grizzlies for the most part. Yeah. Now you start from the bottom, you eliminate Utah. Everybody else is thinking that they're a playoff team, including the Pelicans. So, you know, that's one of those things where it's going to be a dogfight to try to stay out of that play-in. But the Grizzlies are right there, projecting to be right there in that mix. That's fair. What do you think?
43, you said 43-39. I think 43, 44, 45, somewhere in there is a viable number. But again, man, like, it's injuries, right? Like who knows? Like if everybody's healthy, maybe it's 46. If everybody gets hurt, maybe it's, you know, 41-41, and you're trying to just slog through this thing. The other thing to me is just that it's the West, and that makes it so much harder. I mean, everyone's talking about the Orlando Magic. They go out and they get Desmond Bane, and now all of a sudden they're one of the 2-3 best teams in the Eastern Conference, because the Eastern Conference is so much easier to get through than the Western Conference. So for this Grizzlies team, just having to fight through all that, I think is going to be it's going to be like the tough part for this season. So we got another home game Saturday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Of the guys we've seen so far, and maybe even some guys we didn't see a lot of, Tyler Burton played 10 minutes last night. Braxton Key played 17. Prosper only played 11. Some of these guys, like, who are you looking forward Saturday night to seeing if they can kind of take a step and improve upon from what happened last night?
You know, I'll go right back to the first question, the beginning of what we talked about. Like, to me, okay, I'm knocking on the door. Santi, this is your time. Like, this is your time, right? Gigi, this is your time for a completely different set of reasons, right? Santi needs to show that, listen, man, if Jaren isn't available for the opening few games and Edie isn't available for the opening month, who can the Grizzlies rely on in that front court? And if you can't rely on Santi in that front court, you got to go make a move. You have to, because you can't fall 10 games back in the West. Yeah. You just can't. Gigi, you're basically playing for your Memphis Grizzlies version of your career. Yeah. And if you don't get this one right now, and some of it may not be his fault, right? It just may not be a good fit if that trust is never going to get there to the point where he needs it to be. But he can still play his way into trying to salvage as much of his career as possible. But again, it's hard to evaluate either one of those guys when you're taking, John Moran isn't out there and he's not able to play with, Jaren Jackson Jr. to really expose himself. So it's tough, man. But those are the hands that you're dealt with when you're playing in the NBA, particularly this season.
Or even when you're not playing with Ty Jerome and Kenny Caldwell-Pope,
yes.
And when you got like Javon Small making his first ever NBA start and having to go against Derek White for the whole game, you're asking a lot of some of those guys last night. And kind of just throwing them into the fire and saying, all right, let's see what happens. And I think for Asante, when you're going up against a lineup with Jaylen Brown and Derek White playing, and Xavier Tillman, like real NBA veterans, guys who are playing real minutes, and you're asking Santi, hey, you got to be our best player tonight. You and Jalen Wells got to carry us. Maybe that's not a fair ask of those guys. Santi was the only.
I tell you what. It's not a fair ass. It's not a fair ass to throw Cedric Coward and Javon Small as rookie first-time guys out there against Brown and White. I think it is a fair ask to ask Sonny to go up against Xavier Tillman and whoever else.
Sure, yeah. But I'm not expecting Sonny to give me 35 points. I think what he finished with. He was the only starter finished with a positive plus minus out there. But 12 points, 6 boards. I think you could ask for more than that.
I need that to be 22 and 8. Or you know what I'm saying? I need that to be let's not let ourselves get down by 20 in the first quarter type stuff, right? Yeah. Like I need that to be all right, man. Look, they might not be able to stop me, but I mean, I'm like again, Santi is not Cade Cunningham or anybody like that. I'm not saying, but it was clear that these guys who are frontline guys in limited minutes went out and did like Jaylen Brown went out there and got 20 and 19 minutes. Cade Cunningham got 20 and whatever. So you can book that, right, in terms of that situation. We go into these games, whether it's preseason or otherwise, not knowing what to book. Yeah. You know what I mean? And after you get past Ja and maybe Jaren on some level. And I think that needs to change when there's nobody else left to get you the points except for the guys that are supposed to be in those roles.
Yeah. All right. Michael Wallace, thanks for joining us this morning. I'm going to see you Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
With the return of the warm-up show. Yeah, we're back.
Oh, let's go.
Saturday night, we'll be on the warm-up show live at 6 p.m. On YouTube, X, Facebook, all those different places. You can watch us live. Mike and I will be courtside, getting you ready for a tip-off before the Atlanta Hawks face off against our Memphis Grizzlies here. So, Mike, thank you. Peace out. See you. See you next week.
All right. Take care.
Ben and I'll be right back here. We'll get into our 5 things. Lots of stuff around the sports world to get to. Appreciate you watching the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media.
Did you see the end of Ace's Storm? Let me play it out for you. Storm get the ball back, and it's Gabby Williams, and oh, God. You'll never know. We'll never know. A hell of a way to say you lost. Lights are out, take the ball, go home, or don't take the ball because your season is over.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The boy is mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat.
MJ, how can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Orthopedic injuries can be
unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled. And Ortho South, they understand this better than anyone. Since injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during weekdays, on evenings, and even on Saturdays. So the next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. You can just walk in, and Ortho South, they will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lane Whitaker, sitting in for GP today. He'll be back tomorrow. And then I'm here for a while next week, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here all week next week.
Yep.
By the way, we just heard the Jeff Dunham commercial during the break. Do you know how many followers Jeff Dunham has on Instagram?
I'm going to say 1 million.
You're low.
Really? How many?
3.1 million.
How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, I guess.
Yeah. He's older than I thought, too. He's born in 62, according to Wikipedia.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't know he had that many followers. Anyway, let's
All right,
get to
shout out Jeff Dunham.
We got 5 things to get to.
Okay. All right.
Number 1.
All right, number 1. We talked earlier. We mentioned this briefly. MLB playoffs. What's the matter?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
MLB playoffs. Last night there were some great games. Start with the Dodgers Phillies. I know a lot of Phillies fans. They were texting. Somehow I got in a group chat with a bunch of Phillies fans. It's the team I competed with at Barbecue Fest, where I placed top 20 in the exotic category.
Gotcha.
They're all from Philly, and they're all fans of the Phillies. So they were all texting about this game last night. The game starts off. The Dodgers, they're kind of like the Yankees were when I was a kid. They're like high-priced team. Everybody loves them.
Most expensive
They're going to
team.
spend
Yep.
all this money, and they're in the same league as my Atlanta Braves. So I root against the Dodgers. Pretty much in all circumstances. I just don't want the Dodgers to do well because I want them to spend all that money and lose. And got out to a 2-0 lead on this Phillies team.
Yep.
Looked like they were going to kind of just roll into this. And then Kyle Schwarber comes out and hits a Schwarber bomb to start that game.
Yeah, we got the video.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Let's check it out.
It wasn't like he just barely got it.
Uh-oh, Schwarber gonna send one way out of here. How far will it fly? My goodness.
That's insane.
Kyle Schwarber with a tape measure shot up on top of the pavilion and right.
455.
That
Out
is
of
one
the
of the
stadium,
biggest bombs
bro.
you will ever see. And the Phillies tie it up immediately on a Schwarber bomb here in the 4th.
It's insane. He's great. I've been doing well with these home run bets, and I didn't do Schwarber last night, and he's been one of my guys all season. I don't know what I was thinking.
Ranger Suarez pitched for the Phillies and gave up a home run, I think, on the first pitch he threw.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no, this isn't good. But then he was lights out the rest of the way. He was so good.
Yeah. Shohei hadn't been great in this NLDS. He's 1 for 12. He did get one caught at the wall yesterday. That was almost a home run. So I still think they're going to win.
Well, tonight we get the Dodgers-Phillies game 4.
Yep.
I think it starts at 5 o'clock our time.
Yep, Dodgers up 2-1.
And it's a really good pitching matchup. It's Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies against Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers.
Okay.
2 studs. Probably the best starter on each of those. Well, maybe not Ohtani. Is he the best starter for the Dodgers? I don't know. Kershaw got lit up at the end.
He did,
he
struggled.
I was watching the post-game show on TBS because I got home from the Grizzlies game and couldn't go to sleep. Jimmy Rollins is on their panel, longtime Phillies player.
Yep.
And he was saying, that home run from Schwarber was the thing that turned the game around for the Phillies because he was the guys love it when Schwarber hits a home run. But he was like, that wasn't just a home run. That was like a bomb.
Yeah.
He hit it out of the stadium. And he goes, the guys on that team, that was what they needed. And I wonder if that carries over to today. Now things they've finally got a foothold in this series. Now they're down 2-1. They win today. They get to go back to Philly. So I haven't watched the other series going on right now, or tonight. Milwaukee, Chicago are playing.
That one's been. Those have been
game 4
during the day.
I know, yeah,
those have been
at
tough.
2
We've
o'clock.
had Grizz stuff, so it's been tough to catch that series.
I always see Ben, who works here, walking around. He's a huge Cubs fan, but he's always having to work during the games.
Yeah.
So he's giving me updates as the games happen.
And then obviously the Yankees get eliminated last night by the Blue Jays. I don't think that's any surprise, but it's just that I didn't realize this. So Aaron Judge, he was in high school the last time that the Yankees won a World Series. This is the second longest World Series drought in their franchise history.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
It is. I mean, their franchise history is crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
When was the last World Series they won? Do we know? It was probably when I was living in New York City.
When was it? Because Judge has never won one.
2009. They beat the Phillies 4-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living in New York when that one happened. In 2000, they beat the Mets. Was the one before that. But in the 90s, they won 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how their summer goes. Like, I think they'll spend a lot of money, and
But they never. That's the thing. Like they let Soto go last year, right?
But that was weird. Like that was
$1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $1 billion.
Right.
The beef Yankee fans have now is that Hal Steinbrenner, who runs the team, won't spend money like George Steinbrenner used to. Like he's
like
more
they're
responsible.
not spending like the Dodgers, right? Or the Mets.
So I don't know if they will spend money.
We'll see. I mean, Judge is still awesome. You can't put that series on him. He actually had a really good postseason. So we'll see what happens there. I did see. I think I'm rooting for whoever's in the AL, whoever comes out of the AL, because if the AL wins the World Series, it's going to be like a super long drought will end. So the Blue Jays, last time they won a World Series was 93. The Tigers, 1984. And the Mariners have never won a World Series. So I think I'm kind of on this Mariners thing. People are getting behind them. That's fun. They've never won a World Series.
They're off tonight.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night, they play Game 5, and it's Tarek Skubals pitching for the Tigers.
Yeah.
He's maybe the best pitcher in baseball, against the Mariners, and they're starting George Kirby. I think some guy's like 500.
You're seeing people jump back on board, like with you're seeing like people pop up as Mariners fans.
Game's at 7:00 tomorrow night.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
It's perfect. And I think it's like that whole like 90s nostalgia, like Ken Griffey Jr.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, man. I feel like that. Like it's some of those people are starting to come back. Maybe
sometimes they wear those like teal uniforms. So the game's in Seattle tomorrow night, Game 5. Like that's going to be a wild environment. I would assume it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
The Yankees. I just saw this stat. Finished 7th in the AL in runs allowed. The thing with the Yankees is they might not have to spend money because they signed Garrett Cole, remember, going into, and he tore his Tommy John before. I mean, he had Tommy John surgery. He tore his elbow before the season. So they get him back. Luis Gil was a Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. He was hurt all year. So they have guys coming back from injury. And then they had that guy Schlittler who started in the playoffs and was great. So they'll have him next year. I think they'll be all right. But
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2.
Is the Bill Belichick error ending in North Carolina already?
I mean, I thought it was, but apparently it's not, because you had the tweet yesterday. I want to give the guy credit. Ollie Connolly. And said that Belichick's basically discussing buyout options with North Carolina.
Wait, not discussing. Has discussed,
yeah. And was willing to trigger his $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in media.
What does that mean?
I know, that's interesting. A soft landing with another team or in media. So Bill Belichick is not going to be an assistant anywhere. Like, what are we talking about? You think that guy with that ego is going to be an assistant coach anywhere? Stop. That's not happening. And I think he will not coach in college football. We know that, right? Like, this has been an absolute disaster. The media thing was kind of interesting.
Well, because he used to do some stuff on like NFL Network and like ESPN. They were on game day on Saturday morning. I was watching game day, and they were like, "We're gonna," they'll interview the coaches walking around on the field before the game. They interviewed Belichick walking around on the field before the game, and I was like. That seems like the last thing Bill Belichick would ever want to do. Yeah, right?
Yep.
But he did it. So media, I mean, the thing with media is like he can just do it and no one cares who he dates and all that crap. Like, but it's been such a high profile hire at UNC, and then they've been so bad this year.
Yeah.
And the expectations with him are so high. Like it's almost impossible for him to be successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Now, the reason this thing is so over is because later last night we got the stamp of approval from North Carolina. It was like, basically say we stand with Coach Belichick, or what was it? It was Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and the University of North Carolina. And then we had the quote from Belichick: "I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building." Yeah, it's over. That's as soon as I saw that, I was like, this thing's over.
Did Jordan Hudson issue a statement?
Not yet.
All right.
I'm sure it's on its way. I'm sure we'll get one. I hope we get one. But
that statement from Belichick probably came from her.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Well, she's the PR person, right?
Yeah.
Isn't she running the
Right?
PR?
I
think so.
Seems like it.
So, anyways, this thing, I'm sure we'll get something else. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's fun now at this point.
Well, it's been the gift that keeps on giving to me because I keep betting against UNC every week, and they don't cover.
Who do they play this weekend?
They're off.
They're on a bye?
Believe me, I looked. That's the first thing when I was doing my picks. I looked. They're off this week.
Who do they have next?
I don't know.
Let's see.
They were a 14-point dog to Clemson 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I am all over it. And then Clemson, on the first play of the game, ran a flea flicker for a touchdown. I was like, let's go. Clemson ran away with that.
They're at Cal.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're at Cal in 2 weeks.
All right.
Hey, maybe you never know. 2-3. Maybe they can get back in this thing.
Who'd they beat? Charlotte?
UCF and
No.
I'm sorry. They beat Charlotte, Richmond. That's
All
it.
right.
Charlotte and Richmond. My
Charlotte's
bad.
awful.
And then lost at UCF and against Clemson.
Charlotte got blown up by South Florida last week.
Charlotte's
one of my broken ATMs.
Awesome. I hate that they're not on the Memphis schedule this year. That would be a good one. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Number 3.
Speaking of Tigers football.
Yeah, this was cool. I enjoyed this.
So all these coaches, college coaches, NFL coaches, all at some point work together. I guess it happens in every sport. The coaching trees, like the guys who all learn from one guy and then move out and start coaching in other places. The Athletic had a story yesterday. Chris Vanini wrote about Mike Norvell and the coaching tree he kind of left behind at the University of Memphis. And the guys who were here on the staff for the last, a decade ago, have all kind of moved on, and a bunch of them have become head coaches. Right now, Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, Dan Lanning at Oregon, Mike Norvell, he's at Florida State, and Ryan Silverfield's here. All four of them are coaching top 25 teams right now in college football, and they were all on the staff with Norvell here at the University of Memphis 7, 8, 9 years ago when they started. Chris Ball was also on that staff. He was 5 years the head coach at Northern Arizona. But it's a really good story. Did you have a chance to read through it?
I did. It's just kind of crazy. Like, and Vernon's talked about this before because I think he's was buddies with Dillingham. But it's just wild that these guys have gone on to do such huge things. I mean, obviously we know
and be good at it.
Like we know, and like Norvell, it's been kind of touch and go at Florida State. But I still think Norvell's a great coach. They need to. I think that they need to just give him. It was obviously bad last year. He had the loss.
Really bad.
Yeah, and you lose to Miami, sure, but you're an underdog. I still think he's a great coach. I think he's going to do good there. I think they should stick with him.
The story opens with like a memory of Dan Lanning and Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah.
Would go to one of the other's office and do what they call board wars.
Yep. And
Dillingham would draw up an offensive play, and Lanning would draw up a defensive play, and they would, I don't know, decide how they would work against each other. But they would do it for every single day for hours, and why wouldn't they just play NCAA 26?
Right, that's a fair. Well, it was 2016, yeah.
Well, back then.
Fair enough.
Oh, that game wasn't around back then.
Yeah,
you could play the old one.
Yeah, you could play the old one. No, but like Dan Lanning, he's coached. I mean, he might win a national championship this year with Oregon, right? Dillingham's having a lot of success at Arizona State.
He won national championships with Georgia.
So my favorite. One of my favorite parts of it was talking about like what these guys all went on to do, and then it gets to Ryan Silverfield, and it said Silverfield had similar opportunities, but he stuck with Norvell because he saw a different path to his goal to become a head coach. He had bounced around jobs early in his career. Here in Memphis, he found stability, a rarity in college football. The Tigers were winning. Norvell would soon get a bigger job himself, and rather than jump at just any job that paid more, Silverfield would stick around as Norvell's number 2 until he got the head coaching job. It kind of like reinforces a little bit how much he wanted. We knew he wanted the Memphis job.
Yeah.
But I think it just kind of reinforces how much he wanted to be here and stay here, and has obviously had a lot of success here. I just, I hope people don't take that for granted. Like the fact that this guy really, really wants to be the coach in Memphis. I really wanted the job, wanted to stay here, wants to be here, and has had success here. I mean, that matters to me because. And who knows what? Like Ryan could go undefeated this year and get a great job. Like who knows how the rest of this year is going to play out? But the fact that the guy really wanted to be here. This, the past two coaches before. I'm not saying it was a stepping stone job for them, but
it was.
In a sense, it kind of was, right? And listen, Ryan may go undefeated and go get a great job, and I would be super happy for him. But I just hope people don't take for granted like that we have a really good thing going. We have had a really good thing going.
It suggests A, that he wants to be here, and B, that like you said, maybe a great job comes along. But I think if a good job comes along,
I don't think
he wouldn't do it.
I completely agree with that. I think that he would. I think you have to just Norvell. You have to leave for Florida State, right? Like if you're Norvell, you have to leave for Florida State.
But there's like a top 10 college that comes along.
Yeah, but who's like what
if like Wisconsin came along for Silverfield? Or
that's a pretty good.
No.
You don't think so? No, I don't know. Let me hang on. So let's just.
Would you go to would you go to a team in the same conference as Michigan and Ohio State? Like, I don't know. Like that. Like you're just gonna go lose to them every year.
Man, that's a good point. That's maybe not.
Arkansas, no. Like I wouldn't take that job if I was a coach who was like looking for a long term.
Would you take Arkansas or would you stay in Memphis?
I'd stay in Memphis. You can be the big fish in the small pond of the group,
and you're gonna win.
Yeah, you're gonna go 10-2 at worst.
Like I don't think you leave Memphis for like a Minnesota,
Yeah, or Wisconsin.
Maybe not.
Maybe or Arkansas. Not. I think an Arkansas job is going to be like a Bobby Petrino or like.
No, they've been there.
You know the name I saw thrown around for that last week? James Franklin.
Well, if he doesn't get, I don't think he would get fired at Penn State after this year. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I'm with you. I could totally see him leaving
because you could restart the clock.
The heat is on. Like the heat is on right now.
Heat's on. If I go somewhere else, now I get 6 years, 7 years to kind of build I got to build my team.
Like you see it in college basketball all the time.
Although Belichick didn't get 6-7 years at UNC. 6-7. Sorry, my kid will like that. Belichick's not getting that. Like Belichick's like he's expected to win right away. And maybe it's different now with NIL and the transfer portal. Maybe now you're not you don't have to have 4 years to get my guys in here. Like you always hear from these guys. Like maybe it's different now. But if I'm a James Franklin, I think maybe this is a good chance to kind of James Franklin to me is kind of like Mark Richt was at Georgia.
Yeah.
Like he's good. They're gonna win 9-10 games every single year. They're gonna be fine. Probably lose more of the big games than they win. Maybe lose a lot more of the big games than they win. And then Georgia, as a Georgia fan, like we saw Mark Richt kind of keep us in contention for a long time, and you think, hey, like this is a pretty good place to be. It's not until Kirby comes along, Kirby Smart, and now you're like, oh, like this is out there. But it's so hard to find that guy.
Yeah,
that's the hardest part, I think.
For sure. But it's a cool story.
But I think Memphis has found their guy.
I think so too. Yeah, it's a cool story. Chris Vanini's got it over at The Athletic, a friend of the show, Chris Vanini. So go check it out. It's on the Memphis coaching lineage. It's good stuff.
Number 4.
We talked about other NBA games that were happening, and there's news coming out of training camps. We saw Kevin Durant get into it with everyone said it was Ace Bailey. Apparently it wasn't.
Was it not? Yeah, he basically said. What was it? He's like, you're new here. I mean, he said, I can't say everything he said, but he was like, you're new here. Shut up.
Apparently, but apparently he was talking to Isaiah Collier or somebody else on the bench.
Oh, that doesn't make it as fun. No, there was the big NBA thing right now. At least the thing that was making the rounds yesterday is Giannis.
Well, it's weird because it was a big thing this summer, and that maybe Giannis was going to go somewhere else. Maybe he didn't want to be there. Blah blah blah. And then he didn't go anywhere. He stayed with Milwaukee. And then all of a sudden yesterday, Shams Charania from ESPN reported that the team Giannis had thrown out there this summer was the New York Knicks. Nothing happened, but Giannis had to talk about it last night. I've actually been looking on Reddit because people dug up a bunch of old Giannis quotes, and he's basically been saying the same thing for like 5 years now. It just kind of has gone under the radar, where Giannis has said, look, I just want to win, man. Like, and I love Milwaukee. I'm a very loyal person. I like being here. I love the people here. I love my teammates. But if something else comes up, maybe I'll change my mind.
We've got the video of him talking yesterday if we want to watch it.
I believe in this team. I believe in my teammates. You know, I'm here to lead this team to wherever we can go. And it's definitely gonna be hard. We're gonna take it day by day, but I'm here. So all the other extra stuff does not matter. I think I've communicated with my teammates, communicated with the people that I respect and love, that the moment that I step in on this court or in this facility, I wear this jersey, the rest does not matter. I'm locked into whatever I have in front of me. Now, if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think that's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want, but I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team. I'm locked into these guys, to this group, and to my coaching staff, and to myself.
He's locked in for now.
Yeah, but he said who knows what happens in a couple months.
6-7 months. Who knows?
6-7. Oh, so maybe that buys us the whole season in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's not a trade deadline guy.
I would think, like if you're Giannis and you're looking at the Bucks, you gotta be able to look at it and say, like, look, they're trying really hard. Like, they went out and traded for Dame. That didn't work.
Yep.
They spent a crap load of money to get out of that Dame contract.
Right.
They stretched him and got him out. They went out and signed Miles Turner, which, whatever. I don't know if that.
But that's a
fits or
good
not.
move for the Bucks. I mean, that's a good move for a team like the Bucks. Yeah.
He's all right. He's okay.
Smaller market. Like, I think that's a good move for them.
Watching that clip reminded me of, and I'm old again, Kevin Garnett toward the end of his time in Minnesota. When everybody was like, "Are you gonna stay? You gonna leave?" and he wouldn't say anything. And I was working at Slam and I interviewed him. I'd never spoken to him in my life. He did a shoe thing with Adidas. They had me come out and talk to him. And the whole time I'm interviewing him, he keeps talking about sort of the same thing. Like, I'm here, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But he kept kind of hinting around that he wanted, like, he might ask for a trade or something at one point. So finally I was like, look, you keep hinting around about this. Would you want to get traded? And he was like, well, if it doesn't work out here, then maybe so. And then he eventually gets traded to the Celtics, and things kind of defines him now as a legacy. Giannis already won a title.
True.
So, like, it's not that. And how old is he now? Do you know?
No.
I don't either. I'm going to look.
I mean, I would assume.
He is 30.
I was going to say 30, in his 30s.
And he's in incredible shape.
Yeah. Hasn't
really had, like, long-term surgeries or injuries or things like that. So you would think, maybe he can play another decade. I don't know if he wants to.
I'll say last season in Milwaukee.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I mean, they were 5th in the East last year. Like, it's not like they were terrible.
Yeah. And that was without Dame for a large part of that, and having injuries and all that stuff.
I mean, the East is more open this year. Everybody's kind of like got Cleveland penciled in right now, with Boston not having Tatum. And we'll see what the Knicks do.
Yeah.
It would be awesome for the Knicks to get to the finals, but they got to do it. They got to do it.
You think Mike Brown's gonna get them there?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They think so, so we'll see.
Oh, I know they do.
I think it's so dumb. Still think it's so dumb that they fired Tibbs.
Yeah.
Like, I know he gets fired everywhere. I understand. Like, I guess
it's weird
clashes.
timing, though. Yeah.
I think that was a mistake. I think that was a big mistake.
And also, like, yes, he clashes with guys in all these places, but like, you would always see clips on Twitter of Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart doing that podcast they do. And they would always just cold call Tibbs and just like mess with him. And clearly, like, there's some level of respect or admiration there between them. And it didn't, I don't know. I thought that was a weird move too.
I do too.
And I don't know what Mike Brown can do that they didn't do. I saw, like, in their first preseason game already, he was like trying to have fun and letting guys shoot more and not overplaying guys, all that stuff. So maybe it'd be a little more fun for the Knicks. I don't know if that means they're going to be better than they were the last couple of years. But the other thought I had was like a lot of these teams, like look at what the Grizzlies are doing now. Look at what the Thunder have done. Like all these teams are trying to develop guys, have these young coaches that are coming in and trying to like build a culture and all that stuff. And in Milwaukee, it's Doc Rivers. Like, you know, just a guy who's coached a lot.
Right.
Coach Kevin Garnett in Boston. I don't know. I feel like the Bucks don't really have. They were fine last year. I just feel like they don't really have a sparkling future when you look at them, or a clear future. Like, how does this thing go forward?
I'm with you.
They need like one more great player on that team.
I'm with you.
Number 5.
All right, I heard JB talking about this on her show earlier.
Right.
They do Theater Thursday every week, which is one of my favorite segments on GCM.
Because you're a theater guy.
Yeah, well, movie theater. I mean, I enjoy the theater as well. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, I enjoy the stage just as much as the screen.
Sure.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
doesn't?
yeah. Don't. I'm cultured. Don't get it twisted. Timothy Chalamet was at the game last night, at the Yankees game with Kylie. I believe he was on the Jumbotron. He was. Now he's wearing the Yankees cap. He has shaved his head.
Is he in the movie?
Well, I believe it's for Dune Part 3. I believe that's what.
Why does he shave his head?
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away about what happens.
You're not going to give it away.
Well, Dune Part 3, it sounds like that it's potentially the merging of 2 of the Dune novels, Dune Messiah and Children of Dune.
Novels, right?
Yeah. And things get weird with him, with his character. I'll just say that much.
Have you read the books?
I've just read the first one. But
somebody we work with has listened to the audiobooks of the whole thing.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
On his way to work every morning, half an hour, and listens to the Dune audiobooks.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a good idea. But she brought up, he's got a new movie coming out that's everybody says got a chance to be Best Picture this year.
Safdie brothers.
Marty Supreme. I believe it's Josh Safdie. Safdie, because his brother did The Smashing Machine.
Yeah.
And his brother's an actor too. Like his brother was in Oppenheimer and
Happy Gilmore.
And Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Smashing Machine yet, but I'm hopefully gonna go see it this week. But this new Timothy Chalamet movie is called Marty Supreme, and it's about a table tennis, ping pong, if you will, player. in New York. I don't know what era it is. I think
I read that it's filmed like an 80s movie, but it's a set in like the 60s or 50s.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyways, they're saying it's his best performance ever. So
I guess I didn't see Wonka.
Well, he's had some good ones, man. I mean, I think you can make an argument that he is the best like young actor going right now. Because
I like when they do him on Saturday Night Live and they have that young girl play him.
So what is
he just plays it straight up.
It's good. No, what has he been in? Okay, he was in A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie.
Didn't see that.
It was good. I liked it. That was good. I think the Dune movies are great. I've loved both
Wonka.
of them.
Did you see Wonka?
Wonka was good. My kids loved it.
Yeah, same. My son loved it.
My kids loved it. I didn't see Bones and All. He had a little role in Little Women. That was a good
French
movie.
Dispatch. He was in that. He's been in all the Wes Anderson ones.
Underrated Timothy Chalamet movie. I gotta find it on here. It's called The King, and it's on Netflix.
All right.
And it's really, really good. It's like medieval. I don't remember like
Kings.
I don't remember who it exactly is about. It's about Henry VIII.
All right.
Yeah. No, Henry V.
Tomato.
Yeah. He becomes the King of England, 15th century. Robert Pattinson's in it. It's great. He's really good in that one too.
He's the Prince of Wales.
Yeah. Anyways, that's coming out. And then this weekend, the big movie really. Oh, there was also some news that Saoirse Ronan, she's the Irish actress.
Also in the Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, she's in the Wes Anderson movies. She's going to be Linda McCartney in the Beatles movies. You know, they're doing the 4 Beatles movies.
One about each guy.
Yeah, one about each guy. She's going to be in the Paul McCartney movie.
Who plays Paul McCartney?
Paul Mescal, who was,
I don't know. Oh,
you know, I mean, Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Been in a bunch of like indie stuff, After Sun.
Yeah.
He's great. And so he'll be Paul and she'll be Linda. We got that yesterday. We got some other people like Amy from that was in White Lotus, Amy Wood that was in White Lotus. She's going to be in it.
Barry Keoghan is Ringo Starr.
Yeah, he's Ringo.
I don't know these
my guy
other
from
guys.
Fantastic Four is going to be, I believe, George.
Joseph Quinn.
Yeah,
is George Harrison.
Yeah.
And John Lennon's Harris Dickinson. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, oh, he's great too. No, it's these are going to be good. Like there's going to be
Sam Mendes is directing these.
Sam
right?
Mendes.
Yeah.
He's put out 4 of them. And I think that these are going to be great. Like Sam's a great director, so I'm excited about those. But
They should put them all out at the same time, and then you can decide
Yeah.
which one you want to go see.
They are putting them all at the same
Are they
time.
really?
Yeah, that's the thing that people are like, man, how is this going to work? Because he's saying that he's going to release them, I believe, every other week.
Okay.
So it's going to be a month, a little over a month with these going basically back to back to back. And people were saying, dude, if you do that, you're going to hurt your chances at the box office, right? Like these aren't going to make any money because people aren't going to go see them. Like, you know,
I don't
usually.
know, man. Beatles fans are kind of crazy. Like they might.
That's true.
They might turn out and go see all of them.
I mean, I'm going to. Like, I will go each individual
week.
And I think he even said it would be like every week. I don't even know if it's every other week.
Would you be like, the Ringo one? I'd rather watch Georgia Auburn or something. Like, but,
me and GP, I think you got to do Ringo first.
Well, the best actor probably is the one playing Ringo, Barry Keoghan,
yeah,
who's been nominated for an Oscar, and that kind of makes sense. Like, you should put the biggest star as the Ringo one, because then
maybe you start with George or Paul.
The stories we know,
because that gets the pop.
Well, the story
initially.
we know the best are Lennon or Paul.
That's what I meant, John or Paul.
Yeah.
I think
We
you
know
start
those
with
are-
John Lennon or Paul McCartney.
I would too, probably. Unless
Just
you
to get the
start with-
buzz.
Unless Ringo's your leadoff hitter, and you start with Ringo, and you're like, all right,
that's risky.
Well, but you have you have your best actor hitting leadoff.
Starting with Ringo is risky.
But you got to get it out of there. Are you going to put him in cleanup spot?
I think you put him right in the middle.
I might do him the 2-hole.
No, here's the order.
You get Paul first.
Paul.
Hold on. No, I go Paul first, then Ringo 2, because Paul's going to get on base. Ringo's going to bunt him over. That's all you need.
I'm going Paul, George, Ringo, John. Because George is my favorite Beatle, by the way.
I would put him
George
third.
Harrison's my favorite Beatle.
I think so.
No, but I'm saying you lead with Paul because like he's kind of like universal a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody loves Paul McCartney.
John Lennon is also
John's probably the most famous, right?
Yeah.
But Paul McCartney is Paul McCartney. Like you lead with Paul.
He might be more famous than John. But go ahead.
He probably is.
Yeah.
He probably is.
Yeah.
I guess so.
He had Wings after the Beatles.
Well,
like,
he's obviously
He's written
been
a million
alive.
songs.
There's the lore of John Lennon because he was assassinated, right?
killed,
Yeah. I'd go Paul, Ringo, George, John, in that order.
Yeah. I would go Paul, Ringo, George, John. Yeah, same as you. Paul hits lead off, gets on base. Ringo just moves them over.
Yeah.
And then George probably brings him in. If not, he's getting on base and John's hitting cleanup. He's your Aaron Judge in that lineup.
George Harrison documentary on HBO that came out years ago. One of the best music documentaries ever. And then the last thing, the big movie release this weekend is Tron Ares.
Yeah.
I heard them talking about that too, which the reviews are going about how I thought they would go. And you know, Nine Inch Nails did the soundtrack. GP, massive Nine Inch Nails fan. I believe he's friends with Trent Reznor, or at least hung out with him at a bar one time. So all the reviews say it looks amazing, but the story's kind of whatever.
I've never seen any of the Tron movies. I've been on the ride at Disney, and like
the ride is sick.
Yeah, but it's just like, to me, Tron is just like space. Like, I don't know what it's like, lights. I don't know exactly what
it's the digital world.
Yeah, I don't. Nobody.
We're
knows.
living in the digital world. It's the digital world comes to us.
It's sort of like Dune to me. It's like it's a thing.
Don't you dare!
It's a
Dune
universe.
is incredible.
I saw Dune 2 in the theater.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't see Dune 1.
Yeah. Wait, you saw Dune Part 2 without seeing the first? Well, I bet that was an experience.
I didn't feel like
Did you catch on pretty quickly?
Yeah, it's good guys and bad guys. They got,
it is good guys and bad guys.
It's pretty easy to like just slide right in there and be like, all right, got it. I'm good. And then every once in a while they cut to the Austin, what's his name, Butler, with like the shaved head and those dudes.
He
You're like,
was
all right,
awesome.
what are these people?
He was so good in that.
But I mean, Dune was just good guys and bad guys in the sand. I assume Tron is good guys and bad guys riding bikes with lights and like Daft Punk music playing. And
okay,
stuff.
so the original Tron from the 80s with Jeff Bridges, like
I've never seen that one. I
mean,
almost
dude,
watched it recently.
It's obviously holds a special place in people's heart.
Yeah,
Like, it's
but it's
nostalgia.
not that good, right?
No.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
people
had
try
heard.
to like hold the. It's not, okay? Go back and watch it and tell me it's good.
Last week I almost did because this was coming out and I was like, man, I should probably watch that. I'd never seen Dune. I turned it on. I got literally like 30 seconds into it and I was like, all right, screw this. I'm going to watch the baseball playoffs.
Okay, so, but like the original Tron has like the nostalgia. Tron Legacy was the one that came out in maybe like the mid 2000s, early 2000s. Maybe it was like, I don't remember when that came.
Like 2010, 20 something.
Tron Legacy. Anyways, that one was actually pretty good. I liked it. I mean, we rewatched
2010.
That one's not bad.
All right.
I kind of liked it. This one, Jared Leto's the star. We'll see if it's good or not. Nine Inch Nails did the soundtrack. There's a couple bangers.
Is this one the sequel to Tron Legacy? Or there was
I don't
another
think it's
one?
the sequel.
This is like the third one since then.
No. This is the third feature-length movie. I think they've done like an animated series or
I thought
animated.
there was one after this.
I think they might have done an animated movie, but no, it's this is the third one.
Let's see the Tron series.
I'll see it.
No, there was Tron Legacy 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Tron Legacy Reconfigured 2011.
I think that was animated.
All right. What about? There's 3 films. Tron. This is the first one in 15 years.
Yeah.
All right. I got a meeting in 20 minutes.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's take a break. We'll come back here and get you out of here. You're watching Gary Parrish Show on Grind City Media.
Did you see the end of Ace's Storm? Let me play it out for you. Storm get the ball back, and it's Gabby Williams, and oh God, you'll never know. We'll never know. A hell of a way to say you lost. Lights are out, take the ball, go home, or don't take the ball because your season is over.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
Welcome back to the Gary Parrish Show here on Grind City Media. Lane Whitaker sitting in today for GP alongside Bennett Doyle and Kyra. And it's time for GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
I don't know what we missed.
I don't think we missed anything.
I think we covered everything actually today. But we did learn that the Grizzlies were shorthanded last night against the Boston Celtics. who played their guys.
It wasn't like they were shorthanded.
It showed.
I think the Grizzlies had like a hand chopped off.
Yeah.
It's like something out of Friday the 13th or something.
Right. So hopefully Saturday night we'll get some reinforcements back, and it'll be a little more of a competitive environment in here against the Hawks.
Yeah.
So it's the Hawks coming in Saturday,
Hawks
right?
Saturday night. Yeah. And then the Grizzlies have 2 on the road next week.
And this will be the last preseason home game before the home opener on the 22nd.
Against
So
the Pelicans.
and it's on a weekend.
Saturday
so
night, come out.
Yeah, come out. You get
Tigers are off
cheaper,
this weekend, right?
Yeah, Tigers are off, probably cheaper tickets.
Yeah.
So come out and see your Grizz last time this preseason on Saturday.
What's today's biggest game?
We got baseball playoffs tonight.
Yeah, let's go with the first game. Phillies at Dodgers, NLDS Game 4. Dodgers lead the series 2-1. It's going to be 5 o'clock on TBS. Who's on the mound tonight again?
It's a great one. Christopher Sanchez against Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers.
Dodgers minus 130. I think they close out the series tonight.
I'm taking Phillies.
Really? Yeah. We're going back to Philly. Okay, I'm gonna say Dodgers. I'm gonna say Dodgers. We'll reconvene.
What are we watching on TV?
Well, there's college football as well. There's an American matchup actually, and I was told that you're just supposed to call it American, not the American. I believe it's just American Conference.
I don't like it.
I don't like that one bit.
I think it needs.
I already have to deal with that stupid mascot sore.
It needs the. It's like the Athletic, the website. Like,
Yeah.
Are we just supposed to call it Athletic?
Yeah,
No.
I believe the commissioner said that it's just American Conference.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't like that
don't
one
either.
bit. It's East Carolina at Tulane. I mean, that's Memphis plays Tulane in a couple weeks, and
So,
they
like-
play at East Carolina. I believe maybe they play at East Carolina before Tulane.
The Tulane coach, Summerall.
Yeah,
That's an example to me of a guy who would take a Wisconsin job.
that's a good point.
Who would take an Arkansas like that? Like he doesn't have a tie really to Tulane, as far as I know.
Yeah,
And he might make a jump to one of those places. And who knows? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But get a big paycheck for 5 years.
I agree with
but
that.
Tulane, that's an interesting game. You know what I want to watch tonight, and I'm not going to be able to. Slow Horses is back on Apple TV.
Everyone talks about that
The
show.
best show on
I've
Apple
never
TV.
watched it.
Oh, it's incredible. Gary Oldman is the lead.
He's great.
Kristen Scott Thomas. It's the two of them. Gary Oldman's like a disgraced British Secret Service guy.
Okay.
But they don't want to fire him, so they like put him in this office kind of out in the suburbs of London with all the other people they don't want to fire. So it's a bunch of like misfits.
I got
And they
you.
have to like solve crimes and stuff. But Gary Oldman's so good. He plays Jackson Lamb.
Okay.
My wife and I watched the whole series. There have been like 4 seasons. This is the 5th season, I think, or maybe the 6th. My wife's out of town. And so she'll get pissed if I watch it without her there to watch it.
Yeah, you know, I've done that before. You don't want to do that.
I did watch the other night, though. I'm home alone this week. I watched Rear Window the other night. It was on Turner Classic
So
Movies.
good.
I'd never seen it.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It was great. The set of that thing blew me away. I was
Yes.
like, man, I actually went on an internet deep
Isn't that
dive looking
crazy?
at the set. And you know what's on tonight on HBO at like 11 o'clock? Because I was just looking to see what I can watch tonight. The Shining.
Well, I don't think you have to just wait to watch it. Like
Yeah, but
you
it's more
can
fun.
watch
You, like, stumble
HBO. I
across
mean,
it.
it's on HBO Max.
I know,
Probably you
but
can
it's-
watch it on
it's
demand.
more fun if I just like, it's 11 o'clock, I'm tired. Oh, look what's happening. The Shining's starting.
Dude, you know what's funny about that? I know you got to get out of here. I was just, I'm watching a ton of like horror movies. That I do it every
of
time
course.
this time of year. So obviously Stephen King books have been turned into feature films, shows, stuff like that. Like I did not realize how many. I mean, there is like, dude, there is like 50 movies that are based on Stephen King novels.
A 2-page Stephen King story into a movie.
Into a
Stand by
movie.
Me is like a short story.
Right.
Yeah, a bunch of that stuff. They're like, if it's just as long as it has by Stephen King, boom, let's make it a movie.
Yeah. So I mean, The Shining's a classic. It's one of my favorite movies.
Me too.
So good.
Me too.
Yeah.
What's the best thing we've read?
Got to go to that Chris Vanini article, right? In The Athletic.
For sure.
Had one college football team, 4 current head coaches, how a coaching tree takes root.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
It was
yeah,
cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
talking about the Memphis coaching lineage. We talked about it a lot. Go check that out over at The Athletic.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
GP back.
Yes, he will be live from Big Ten Media Day in Chicago tomorrow. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, hear what's going on in the Big Ten college basketball media day. I'm assuming, yeah.
So we'll do that, and then you'll be with me next week.
I'm here next week. I'll
Cool.
be here Saturday for Grizzlies Hawks. The warm-up show is back. Check in for that Saturday night, and then I'll be here next week. So cool.
Let's go.
All right, appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for sitting in with us today. See you back here tomorrow. And Chris Vernon's coming up in 27 minutes right here on Grind City Media. So for Bennett, for Kyra, I'm Lane Whitaker. Appreciate you watching. See you soon.